You are listening to How We Met. True Love Stories. Hey, this is Steve.
And this is Angel Dawn.
Welcome to How We Met.
True Love Stories.
All right. Hope everyone's having a great week out there. Thank you much for tuning in. And remember to click like and subscribe to the podcast.
Yes, and feel free to send us an email at howwemettls@gmail.com.
That's right. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to hear your story and possibly tell your story, or you never know, we can get you on the podcast and you can tell your story. You know, that would be fun, wouldn't it, Miss Angel?
It's a lot of fun. We have had several come online with us and do the podcast live, and it's great. It's a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun. So, and we make it very easy and simple to do. So if you're interested, please reach out to us and let us know.
Again, that email is howwemettls@gmail.com.
Hey, I want to remind everybody, too, that to check us out on YouTube. We've been converting the podcast over to audio and throwing it over on YouTube. Just every now and again throw a picture or two up there. But the good news is, here in a week or so, we're going to be going live on YouTube. And you'll be able to see that that we do.
Yeah, I think you should add more.
Yeah, more
do's. Yeah.
No, we're going to be going live on YouTube, and you'll be able to check us out there. So we're very excited about that, and look forward to just reaching out to you any way that we can. All right. So, Miss Angel, I know you're really excited about this week's episode, and so am I. This is going to be a great episode. She's been researching and doing a lot of work for this week, and we really hope you enjoy it. So without any further ado, Miss Angel, who is the topic of this week?
So the couple this week is Martin Luther King Jr. and Coretta Scott.
That is awesome, and what a story they have, and what a history, what a great man. So let's go ahead and get into it, shall we?
Okay, sounds good.
Flashback 1952.
So, in 1952, major news stories include the first Holiday Inn opens.
Wow.
You've stayed at a lot of those.
Yeah, I've traveled a lot, and I've stayed at a lot of Holiday Inns.
That's
for
right.
Sure. Yeah.
The Today program debuted on NBC.
Wow.
And a popular book, The Diary of Anne Frank, was published.
Oh, what a great book. What a great year.
The average cost of a new house was $9,050.
Wow.
Average wages was $3,850.
Wow.
Gas was 20 cents a gallon.
Oh, those were the days.
Can you imagine? I know. The average cost of a new car, $1,700. And average rent was $80 a month.
Oh, my.
I know.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
I know. And, despite the war in Korea, Americans considered themselves to be prospering, with the average worker earning around $3,400 a year.
Wow.
And this was interesting. 3 out of 5 families owned a car.
So 3 out of 5 families owned a car.
Yeah, and 2 out of 3 families at this time had a telephone.
Wow.
1 in 3 homes had a television. Can you imagine?
I mean,
people would die if they had to live without a phone or a
absolutely. I mean, in today's time, not just families, people, everyone has individual phones. I know probably and not picking on no one and don't want no hate mail from this, but the younger generation, how many TVs are in a home, and each one of us has a personal phone. So just think, not every family even had a TV.
No, or a car or a phone.
That's right. And I remember when I was a child, which, it wasn't the 50s, But even when I was a child, we had a 19-inch huge box of a TV that got 2.5 channels, you know.
And we felt so
We were
blessed.
privileged. Yes, we felt privileged. I know I was 18 before I got what you would say, you know, multiple channels. And when I say multiple, that's, you know, 6 or 7 channels, you know.
Right. Can any of you out there listening relate to having to have someone climb up and adjust the antenna so you could get your channels in clear?
Oh, we went all
Or the
out.
rabbit ears?
We went all out. Being from the mountains, we ended up getting the rotary. It was like a little motor that went on our antenna, and we could turn it inside, and you could hear the antenna on top of the roof. Yeah.
Technology at its finest.
Wow. Yes.
Did you know the Corvette debuted in December of 1952?
Oh my goodness.
Corvette.
Wow.
The popular toy was Mr. Potato Head.
Mr. Potato Head.
Mr. Potato Head. That's right.
How awesome.
The iconic musical film Singing in the Rain premiered at Radio City Music Hall that year.
So that's in 52.
In 52, yeah. Gene
Wow.
Kelly and Debbie Reynolds.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I watched it many times.
Yeah,
Still a
so
great film.
that's kind of cool. So that's just a few little facts that we thought we'd share with you, kind of what was going on at the time.
Yes, it's for sure was a different time.
That it was.
All right, good facts.
Thank you. So now we can get back to our story.
Let's get back into the story.
Sounds good. Martin Luther King Jr. was born January 15th, 1929. Something I found interesting, it said that his name was initially on his birth certificate as Michael.
On his birth certificate.
Mm-hmm. Michael Luther King.
Huh.
But he later had his name changed to Martin.
Now that's interesting.
It is interesting. It says that King's mother named him Michael, but later his father would state that the physician made a mistake when entering his name as Michael on the birth certificate.
Well, what was his father's name? Was it Michael or Martin?
It was Michael.
Huh, okay.
I know, I just thought that was interesting.
It's interesting, yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's very interesting.
So he was born in Atlanta, Georgia, to Reverend Michael King Sr. and Alberta Williams King. Now, Martin Luther's father was a minister at Ebenezer Baptist Church, and Martin Luther attended Young Street Elementary School and went on to attend Booker T. Washington High School. Now, in high school, he was able to skip the 9th grade. This is a smart guy.
Really? So
Very smart guy.
So he skipped the whole grade.
He skipped 9th grade. And then when he was a junior, he was given the opportunity to take an entrance exam for Morehouse College. So Morehouse College was granting scholarships to anyone that could pass the entrance exam.
And he took it and passed.
He took the exam. Now he was 15 years old. And he entered Morehouse College.
So he took it as a junior, but had already skipped the ninth grade.
Right.
Wow.
He was a smart fella.
Yes.
Yeah.
Apparently.
So the summer before his last year at Morehouse College in 1947, he was 18 years old at the time. He decided to enter the ministry.
Okay.
He stated that church offered the most assuring way to answer an inner urge to share humanity.
So
he was already feeling his calling
right
at that time.
Right.
King graduated from Morehouse in 1948 at the age of 19 with a BA in sociology.
Wow. So he was a very intelligent man.
Right, he was. So he enrolled in Crozer Theological Seminary in Chester, Pennsylvania, and he graduated in 1951 with a BA or a bachelor's in divinity degree because he went into ministry.
The ministries.
Right. So after that, now this is just a brief history of who he was and taking him up and to the point he met Coretta.
Okay.
So he began his doctoral studies at Boston University and worked as an assistant minister at 12th Baptist Church. And at the age of 25, he was called into ministry, and that would have been 1954. He was called to pastor the Dexter Avenue Baptist Church in Montgomery, Alabama.
And he's only 25 at this time.
Yes, and he received his PhD on June 5th, 1955.
Wow.
Yeah. So let's talk about Miss Coretta.
Let's talk about Miss Coretta.
Yeah. Miss Coretta Scott was born April 27th, 1927. So she was a little bit older than Martin Luther.
Okay.
She was born in Marion, Alabama, to Obadiah and Bernice McMurray Scott. She was the third of 4 children. And I thought this was interesting. Her father worked as a policeman before starting his own businesses.
Really? So
Yeah.
he was in law enforcement.
He was a policeman, yeah.
Now, what kind of business was he in?
So he and his wife ran a clothing shop. They later opened a general store and a lumber mill, and their family owned a farm.
Wow. So they were entrepreneurs.
They were all into stuff.
Wow.
So Coretta's mother worked as a school bus driver and was the church pianist.
On top of everything else they had going on.
Yes, and
Wow.
by everything I've read, she was very talented, very musical, and just super talented.
Super hardworking. I know that.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, she was hardworking, and she also served as the worthy matron for her Eastern Star chapter.
Really, that's interesting. Yeah, a little side nugget there. Miss Angel and I both belong to the Eastern Star.
Right, and for people that don't know, the Order of Eastern Star is a Masonic appendant body that's open to both men and women, and the mission is to provide for the welfare of wives, daughters, mothers, widows, sisters, and other relatives of Master Masons, and is devoted to religious, charitable, and educational purposes.
Yes, it is definitely a worthwhile cause.
It is. They do a lot of good.
Wonderful organization, yes.
Yeah, so Coretta attended a one-room elementary school. Later, she was bused to Lincoln Normal School by a bus driven by her mother, Bernice.
Oh, okay.
Wouldn't be able to get away with much if your mother was driving the school bus every day.
Right.
Mama probably didn't let a whole lot of people get away with a whole lot anyway.
Yeah, I know. I can imagine.
So Coretta became the leading soprano in the school's chorus. She also directed the choir at her home church in North Perry Country. Now, I didn't research North Perry Country because I thought, well, that should probably be county. But that's how it was written, so that's what I'm going to say.
Okay. All right.
She played trumpet, piano, and participated in school musicals.
So she was obviously talented.
She was very talented also, and Coretta graduated valedictorian from Lincoln Normal School in 1945. So
Wow.
she was a smart lady too.
So when these two got together talking about, I mean, they were educated and at that age.
Very intelligent.
Yeah, I mean, talking about common sense, plus look at the talent.
Right.
Wow. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
She enrolled in Antioch College in Yellow Springs, Ohio. Now, I found this very interesting, so I wanted to add it. Her oldest sister, Edith, became the first African American to attend Antioch on a scholarship in 1943, and it was completely integrated.
Wow.
When she attended, that was what it was for. Integration.
How awesome is that?
I know that. I think that's pretty cool. And Coretta would state later that pioneering is never easy, and all of us who followed my sister at Antioch owe her a great debt of gratitude.
Wow. That is great.
So Coretta became politically active and joined the Antioch chapter of National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, which is known as the NAACP.
Okay.
So during this time, you're going to like this, Steve. During this time, she worked as a babysitter, babysitting for the Lithgow family.
Not John Lithgow family.
Babysitting the later prominent actor John Lithgow.
Wow.
She babysat him.
He's one of my favorite.
I know, he's so
actors,
funny.
Yes.
Yeah, Coretta babysitted John Lithgow.
How wild is that?
Isn't that kind of cool?
That's way cool.
I thought it was. Yeah.
What an honor too, for John Lithgow. I mean, for him to. I'm going to have to do some research.
To be babysat by such a powerful woman who would go on to be such a powerful woman and such a strong part of such an amazing couple.
Wow. Yeah, I've got to do some additional. There may be a part 2 come out this episode. Yeah.
Okay, so afterwards, Coretta transferred to the New England Conservatory of Music in Boston after winning a scholarship.
Wow.
While studying music, she met Martin Luther King Jr.
Ah.
So that's where they ended up meeting.
Okay, so that's the first connection.
That's the first connection. So in 1952, Martin Luther asked a friend by the name of Mary Powell, a student at New England Conservatory School of Music, if she knew any Southern girls.
Any Southern gals.
Any Southern girls. Mary asked Coretta, who was her fellow student at the time, if she'd like to meet a Southern friend of hers studying divinity. She at first was not interested at all.
Really?
Not at all, because she felt like he would be a very, how do I say it nicely, very stuffy.
Yeah.
Very stuffy church guy.
Right.
So she wasn't expecting much.
Right.
And she was not interested in dating preachers.
How interesting.
She did agree to meet him, though, because Mary vouched for him. And they actually didn't meet at first. They talked on the phone.
Interesting.
And on that very first phone call, Martin Luther told Coretta, "I am like Napoleon at Waterloo before your charms." And she replied to him, "You haven't even met me yet." I thought that was so funny.
It is.
Because I'm sure she's sitting there thinking, "Hey, dude,
yeah.
I don't even know you." But he was already smitten because she was an intelligent woman.
Right.
With a lot of personality.
Well, I'm sure it was easy to pick up on just from that conversation on the phone,
You're right. Well, they ended up going out, and she said it wasn't love at first sight, but they liked each other a great deal.
Right. Okay.
And he took her out in his green Chevy. And after their second date, Martin Luther King was sure that Coretta possessed the qualities of a wife.
It was right off the bat.
Yeah.
Okay.
He told Coretta, "You have everything I've ever wanted in a wife: character, intelligence, personality, and beauty."
Now, this was after the first date, or is this?
This is like the second or third date.
Oh, okay.
Right.
So he's already got it figured out in his mind, and he's in his heart, and he's laying it out there.
And it's funny because Coretta, when she first met him, was surprised at how short Martin Luther King was. He was only 5'6".
Right.
Some other research says 5'7", but anyway, 5'6", 5'7". So he wasn't a huge man.
Right.
And that was about the same height as her.
Okay.
So
they were almost the same height.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they were almost the same height.
But little did she know who she was talking to, who he would become.
Right. She I think had an inclination.
Right.
But so it wasn't love at first sight, she said, but they liked each other a great deal. So they continued dating in the early months of 1952. And 2 weeks after Martin Luther King met her, he sent a letter to his mother saying that he had met his wife.
Oh. So he knew.
He did. And I say she had an inclination of what kind of man he would be, because it said that their dates consisted of a lot of political and racial discussions.
Right.
And in August of 52, Coretta met Martin Luther's parents.
Oh, so it wasn't it wasn't a big gap in the timeline, was it?
No, it wasn't. And it said that Coretta talked to her sister Edith, and Edith asked her what made Martin Luther so appealing.
Mm-hmm.
And Coretta said, I suppose Martin reminds me of our father. And Edith said that she knew that Martin Luther King was the one for her sister at that point.
Wow. Because I got you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because I can relate to that.
Those qualities.
Right.
Yeah.
I've always said there'll never be another man like my daddy.
Right. Right.
And you've even mentioned sometimes, gosh, nobody can be like that. So,
he's a hard man to live up to.
Little girls have set their fathers very high on that pedestal. So I understand that.
Right. Right.
So on Valentine's Day in 1953, they announced their plans to marry in June. So that would have been to marry in June of 1953. And initially, Martin Luther's father was not happy with his selection of Coretta as his future wife.
Really?
No, he wasn't.
Well, what's the reasoning behind that?
He just thought that Martin Luther could do better.
Huh.
That there was a lot of available women that wanted him, and that he could do better.
Wow.
And that I read that Edith had said that, look, he loves her, she loves him, and I'm paraphrasing. He loves her, she loves him, and she's not got a bargain for his love.
Right.
So I guess finally that Martin Luther King's father did give in and gave his blessing, because at that time, parents' blessings were very important.
Very important.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he declared that they would be marrying, and he would be finishing his doctorate program.
Wow. What an awesome story thus far.
So the couple were married on June 18th, 1953, on the lawn of her parents' house in her hometown of Heiberger, Alabama. They had 4 children: Yolanda, Martin Luther III, Dexter, and Bernice, and they settled in Montgomery, Alabama.
Right.
Coretta wore a waltz-length gown with peep-toe sandals.
Oh.
And it was white. Martin Luther wore a white shirt, a black bow tie, a white jacket, and black pants. They looked very snazzy. I saw the pictures.
Sure.
What an adorable couple. So good looking, both of them. Just
wow.
Very nice pictures. They spent their honeymoon, I think this is funny, at a friend's house who was an undertaker. Now wait, it gets better.
Okay.
He worked as an undertaker out of his home.
Oh, wow. So that their honeymoon was spent
Right.
at an undertaker's home that worked out of his home.
Right.
Okay.
It said that Martin Luther often joked to Coretta, which he called Corey.
Okay.
As a nickname, Corrie, Corey.
Okay.
So he often joked to Corey, honey, do you remember how we spent our honeymoon? At a funeral parlor. That would be kind of creepy, wouldn't it?
It would, but but still, it's such a. I love the story. I mean, it's it's real.
It is real.
And one of the most influential men and couples in American history.
Right. That's right.
So powerful. So powerful.
So Martin Luther, unfortunately, was assassinated on April 4th, 1968 in Memphis, Tennessee. He was only 39 years old.
Wow.
So his funeral was on April 9th, 1968. And the couple had been married almost 15 years. June would have been 15 years. So Martin Luther and Coretta worked in civil rights, human rights, equal rights, and peace movements. Martin Luther was also a very respected minister.
Yes.
Hmm.
Of course.
And later on, after his assassination, Coretta, she worked as an activist as well. She was known for those same things, but she also started working for gay rights as well. So she was just for the rights of people, period.
Right.
No color, no race, no culture, just people.
Just equal rights.
Equal rights for
Amazing.
people. Yes.
Wow. So respectable.
I know. So, Martin Luther, which we didn't get too much into everything that was occurring at this time through the civil rights movement,
Right.
that he led, but he did do the iconic "I Have a Dream" speech on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial, August 28th, 1963, during the March on Washington.
Right. I mean, this couple and this man, I got to be honest, I had to stop recording and start over. It just touched me. It just, what they fought for.
And they fought. They really did.
And really, I just really had to, I don't know where it came from, but anyway, it really touches you.
It does.
The sacrifices that man and woman made.
And what I like about these two is from 1955 to 68 when he was assassinated, and what a shame. Wow, what that man could have went on to do. They were known for advancing non-violence. Now hear me, non-violence, civil rights activism.
Wow.
Non-violence.
Right.
They didn't believe in violence. To
What
me,
a-
it's just, wow.
What a shame.
Yeah. Now, he won several awards. Now, he won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1964 when Lyndon B. Johnson was president. After his death, in 1977, he got the Presidential Medal of Freedom Award through President Gerald Ford's administration. And in 2004, the Congressional Gold Medal through George W. Bush's administration. So I thought that was nice.
It's awesome he's getting the recognition, but you look, it's just what differences he could have made.
What differences he did make in such a
well,
short
that's
period
true,
of
but
time.
What
Wow.
I'm saying is, if his life hadn't been stolen from
I
him,
know. I know.
Mm.
So, in 1983, Coretta succeeded in getting Martin Luther King Day made into a federal holiday. She said her husband's dream was, and this is a quote from her, and I find this quote very important to all people. For people of all religions, all socioeconomic levels, and all cultures to create a world community free from violence, poverty, racism, and war, so that they could live together in what he called the beloved community, or his world house concept.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. So he fought for all people.
Yeah, he
All
did.
people.
He truly did, and I think we lose sight of that.
Sometimes I think so. And by 2000, the year 2000, all states made it a state government holiday as well.
Awesome.
Martin Luther King. Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and it's on his birthday.
On his birthday.
Well, January 15th was his birthday, so it's always that Monday close to his birthday.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm. And I like this, every year after his assassination, Coretta attended a commemorative service at Ebenezer Baptist Church. Isn't that just wonderful?
Yeah, it says so much for her and her spirit.
It does. Now, Coretta died January 30th, 2006 at the age of 78.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So they're together again.
They are together again. Yeah.
Wow. This has been such a, it's been a great story, and I'm very appreciative for all the hard work that you've done researching this. And
I love this stuff.
it's well, this story really it hit home to me just to see the sacrifice that first of all, we all find love, and look at what that love accomplished
Right.
together. And then after her love was taken, she went on to continue his work.
Right.
You know?
And
So-
they didn't have the opportunity to be married a long time, just a little under 15 years. That's not a long time.
No, it's not. It's not a long time.
She never remarried.
Oh,
She loved him, and her work became her mission after he passed.
wow.
So she was still a fairly young woman.
What a great story.
Hmm. And of course, we didn't get into everything that was going on at the time, and there was a lot going on at the time. Gosh, we could have kept going for I don't know how many episodes if we got into all the stuff that was going on at that time. But we wanted to focus more on their love story.
Right. So we hope you guys enjoyed this. I know I have. Thank you so much, Miss Angel.
Thank you
And-
for listening.
Hey, remember, like, subscribe, and get us your story. And how can they get a hold of us again?
Again, you can give us an email. Steve doesn't like when I say give us an email. Okay, so you can send us an email. It's just the way I say it.
Oh,
Okay. Anyhow, you can send us an email at howwemettls@gmail.com. You've been listening to How We Met, True Love Stories.
your life,
Your love, our story.